Our book buying ban is now going back into full effect. I know what I said, but after this, I promise I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. So, if you missed the book haul I did 2 or 3 weeks ago, I did that one. So honestly, this is part 2 without intentionally being a part 2. I wasn't planning on buying more books, but then of course Prime Day happened, and honestly they might be scamming me, like, but from what I saw, the prices were good. So I got a total of 13 books and I pre-ordered one. Let's start with the pre-order. I pre-ordered, I think it's called Onyx Storm, the 3rd book of the Fourth Wing series. I read Fourth Wing a few months ago, have yet to read Iron Flame, but I'm gonna do that probably by the end of this year, and Onyx Storm comes out soon. I'm gonna try to get through these books fairly quickly. I'm gonna tell you what I know about them, if I know anything. If not, I'm just gonna share the title with you. My first book haul was a more basic, like, mainstream selection of books. These are still, I feel like I have some ones that I like haven't heard of, but I don't know if it's because I live under a rock and I just missed out, or you might know them, might not. For me, some of, like, I knew of them, but I just wasn't thinking of buying them until now. So this is my list. We're gonna start off with Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I will never shut up about that book. That was a 5-star book. I have so much faith in V.E. Schwab for some reason. Don't know anything about the author. Just based off of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, I feel like, I don't know, just that book in general is just like everything to me. So I picked up Vicious by V.E. Schwab. So based on the back of the book, it says Victor and Eli started out as college roommates, brilliant, arrogant, lonely boys who recognize the same sharpness and ambition in each other. In their senior year, a shared research interest in adrenaline, near-death experiences, and seemingly supernatural events reveals an intriguing possibility that under the right conditions, someone could develop extraordinary abilities. But when their thesis moves from the academic to the experimental, things go horribly wrong. This is part of a series. I think it's a duology, if I'm not mistaken. I was gonna buy both of them, but I was like, you know what? I've learned my lesson with buying an entire series and not liking the first one, so I just bought the first one. But I have a feeling I'm gonna like this. I've heard, I think, overall, like, good things about this. So I picked up Vicious. After, oh, that was so scary. Something moved and I didn't move it, bro. On a side note of being scared, 2 cars followed me home the other day. 2 cars. I'm rattled. But anyway, then I picked up Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I did not know that this was a part of an overall, like, intertwined stories. There's Part of Your World and Yours Truly. I've heard really good things about Just for the Summer. I don't know, I just wasn't called to Part of Your World or Yours Truly, so I picked up this one. But before I read this one, I feel like I'm gonna read the other 2 because that's just the way that it must be read, at least in my head. If you call it a series, I have to read it in the order. So I don't know when I'll get to this one or when I'll pick up the other 2, but who knows. Then I picked up Atonement. This is a historical fiction book. It piqued my interest about, I feel like, a year ago when I saw a clip from the movie on TikTok. So on a hot summer day in 1935, 13-year-old Brionni Tallis witnesses a flirtation between her older sister Cecilia and Robbie Turner, the son of a servant. But I don't know if I'm saying Brionni correct, but Brionni's incomplete grasp of adult motives and her precocious imagination brings about a crime that will change all of their lives. A crime whose repercussions Atonement follows through the chaos and carnage of World War II and into the close of the 20th century. The movie piqued my interest, then I found out it was a book and I was like, sold. So Atonement. Later read Kiki's Delivery Service. Listen, I don't know, yes I did, never mind. I was gonna say I've never seen a Studio Ghibli film, but I don't even know if it's a Studio Ghibli. Yeah, it's a Studio Ghibli movie. I've watched Ponyo when I was younger, but I really wanted to get into Studio Ghibli. I haven't yet. That's something I need to do. So Kiki's Delivery Service is about a half witch who turns 13 years old and follows with the witch's tradition of finding a new town and calling it home for a year and trying to help out the townspeople. Is it the children? I feel like it's the children's book. The writing is like very big. Light read. cute, love. Then I picked up Dark Matter. I feel like this all stems from like a movie or a TV show, but I saw the trailer for Dark Matter on Apple TV and I thought it looked interesting, found out it was a book, so here we are. So it's kind of like about alternate timelines from what I understand. From what I just read on the back of the book, jumping realities. So he's kidnapped and he gets bonked on the head, and when he wakes up he's in a completely different reality where he's a successful scientist, I think it said. And when he wakes up he's a celebrated genius instead of an ordinary college professor. So kind of like, what's it called? Jumping timelines and kind of figuring out the whole, I'm guessing, science behind it. So is this sci-fi? It might be sci-fi. I'm not into sci-fi. It's fine, it's fine. I think that's more sci-fi than anything. I also have said that I'm not into sci-fi, but that one sounded interesting, so I picked that up. Then I picked up The 7-Year Slip. Also heard good things about this one. It's a romance. So The 7-Year Slip, from what I understand, is about a girl. She lives in this apartment and for some reason she has the ability to go 7 years in the past, and that's where she meets this guy who lives in her apartment but 7 years in the past, and they kind of fall in love. That's all I know. That's the premise. But I picked this one up since everybody was raving about it, so I'm excited about this. Then I picked up The Cat Who Saved Books. I'm gonna give you a little plot summary about this. I'm gonna read it off of Goodreads. Basically, it's about this boy who recently lost his grandfather, and his grandfather owns this bookstore who's about to close permanently since the death of his grandfather. And he meets a talking cat. And this cat is going on a mission and he needs the help of the boy to complete the mission. So as per Goodreads, they go on 3 adventures to save books from people who have imprisoned, mistreated, or betrayed them. Finally, there is one last rescue, and Renato, the name of the boy, must attempt alone. Then I picked up The Storied Life of AJ Fikry. I just noticed that it was a movie. I didn't know that. But I'm gonna read you the back of the book so you understand what the plot's about. AJ Fikry's life is not all what he expected it to be. He lives alone. His bookstore is experiencing the worst sales in history, and now his prized possession, a rare collection of Poe poems, has been stolen. But when a mysterious package appears at the bookstore, its unexpected arrival gives Fikry the last chance, the chance to make his life over and see everything anew. Then I picked up, I don't know how to say the title of this book, Piranesi. Watch me slay that pronunciation. Piranesi. I'd seen the cover of this before, but I decided to pick it up because I heard someone say that it was gonna turn into a movie, and that just, I don't know why that switched my brain to like, I have to read this. So I'm not sure if you've heard of this book, but I'm gonna read you like a slight summary. Piranesi's house is no ordinary building. Its rooms are infinite, its corridors endless. Its walls are lined with thousands upon thousands of statues, each one different from all the others. Within the labyrinth of halls, an ocean imprisoned. Waves thunder up staircases, rooms are floored in an instant. But Piranesi's not afraid. He understands the ties as he understands the pattern of the labyrinth itself. He lives to explore the house. There is one other person in the house, a man called the Other, who visits Piranesi twice a week and asks for help with research into a great and secret knowledge. But as Piranesi explores, evidence emerges of another person, and a terrible truth begins to unravel, revealing a world beyond the one Piranesi has always known. This sounds really interesting. Then I got Spells for Forgetting. I was watching this cozy video, like cozy fall video reads sort of situation. I'm in a fall mood. I can't wait for fall. But this was one of the books that was mentioned. So I'm just gonna give you like the beginning of the plot that I know. It's kind of giving a little bit of fantasy, but like mostly romance, I think. But it's about this girl who has a best friend who's murdered by her boyfriend, but still she's living in this town, and a few years go by and like magical things start happening and the boyfriend comes back into it somehow. But that's all I know about this book. Then I picked up No Longer Human by Junji Ito. I previously read Fragments of Horror by Junji Ito, which is like a graphic novel, a horror novel. The illustrations in this were like really good. It just made me want to read more of his work. So this book is kind of adapted into a graphic novel. It was written by somebody else years ago, but it was adapted into a graphic novel. So that's what I have here. I feel like I'm gonna read this in September or October for Halloween and, you know, the whole horror-esque vibes. Then I feel like most of you are gonna know what this is, but The Housemaid is also another book I picked up. This is a mystery book, and it's about this girl who lives in this house as a housemaid, and I guess the wife of this family doesn't treat her very well, but she's saying, oh, they don't know who I really am. So mystery, thriller situation. I want to get into mysteries and thrillers again, so I heard this one was really good, so I picked it up. Also part of a series, but I only got the first one. And then lastly, I picked up Good Omens. I watched the first season of Good Omens on Amazon Prime when it came out, and then I feel like I completely forgot everything about this show when the second season came out. And then I was trying to watch it again, but I don't know why I stopped. But better to read the book. From what I remember about the show, it was about basically doomsday coming to life. So there is an angel and a devil who kind of meet in the middle. They're more or less friends, and they're trying, from what I remember, to prevent doomsday from happening, even though that's something that they put into motion years ago with the Antichrist. I believe they're trying to stop it though. I don't remember. Hey, so I don't know why I just never actually recorded this, and I look a little too crusty right now to actually be recording this, so I'm just inserting the last book that I got, which is Thistlefoot. And if you were wondering, this is actually a video of me playing Subway Surfer just to keep you entertained. So I also got Thistlefoot, picked that up a while ago. From what I know, it is a retelling of Jewish folklore, and it's about a house with chicken legs. And from what I'm looking at online is that the house unexpectedly travels to estranged siblings who are descended from the mystical Russian Jewish matriarch Baba Yaga and her two daughters. So this is a book that I've wanted to get for a while, and I just never actually picked it up. And since I was doing the book haul, I was like, well, I've been wanting this book for a while, why not just get it? So yeah, this is the last book in the haul. Those are all of the books that I got. Yeah, 13 books, 1 pre-order, and 11 books in my last book haul. That's 25 books. I am officially done. I promise this time I'm not buying any more books until I finish a lot of them. And I have a lot to work through, so that's great. But here's my stack of books, plus the 2 last ones that I just showed you. But yeah, these are all of the books that I got. But thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and keep an eye out for these books because I'll be reading all of them pretty soon. So yeah, thanks. I don't know what is with me and these thumbs up, but thanks and bye.